Hey, welcome. So, are you just tired of spending hours and hours on a treadmill and feeling like you have nothing to show for it? Well, you've come to the right place. We're about to break down a much smarter way to get real, sustainable fat loss. And trust me, it has very little to do with traditional cardio.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tear down a huge fitness myth. Then, I'll show you how to literally build your body's own fat-burning engine. Use your everyday activities as a secret weapon and fight back against the invisible things that are probably holding you back. And at the end, we'll wrap it all up into a real plan you can actually stick with.
Ugh, does this feel familiar? You put in the time, you're sweating, you're working hard, but the results just don't seem to match the effort you're putting in. It's super frustrating, I get it. But what if the problem isn't how hard you're working, but your entire strategy?
Okay, let's dive right into our first section and tackle the big one, the cardio myth. You know, for decades, the mantra has been super simple. Want to burn fat? Go do cardio. But what if that's not really the whole story? What if it's not even the most important part of the puzzle?
And look, this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. The real goal isn't just to lose weight, it's to lose fat while holding on to the muscle you've got. See, muscle is your metabolic currency, and keeping it is the secret to making sure that weight stays off for good. This is exactly where relying only on cardio can really let you down.
So if endless cardio isn't the answer, then what is? Well, that brings us to the core of our whole strategy today. Instead of just burning calories for an hour during a workout, we're going to focus on building a more powerful, more efficient fat-burning engine that works for you around the clock 24/7.
This is the real endgame. It's called body recomposition. It means you might not see the number on the scale just plummet at first, but your clothes are going to fit way better. You'll look leaner, and you'll feel so much stronger. You're literally trading fluffy fat for dense, lean muscle.
Okay, this is where things get really cool. See, with cardio, you burn calories while you're doing it. But with strength training, you get this amazing bonus called EPOC, or the afterburn effect. It means your body has to work overtime for hours, sometimes even a full day, after your workout to repair your muscles. And that process torches extra calories, turning your body into a fat-burning machine even when you're just sitting on the couch.
So how do we do this efficiently? Forget about spending ages on tiny little exercises. You want the most bang for your buck, and you get that from the big, compound lifts. I'm talking squats, deadlifts, presses, moves that use a ton of muscle at once. This just skyrockets your calorie burn and builds that lean, metabolic engine we're after.
All right, can we please just bust this myth once and for all? For the vast majority of people, getting bulky from lifting weights is incredibly difficult from a hormonal standpoint. What really happens is you build lean muscle, which is way denser and takes up less space than fat. This is what gives you that firm, strong, toned look so many people are chasing.
Think about it. Your workout might be just 1 hour of your day. So what are you doing with the other 23? This brings us to a concept that is, no exaggeration, a total game changer. It's all about the hidden power in your everyday life.
I want you to meet your new best friend for fat loss. Neat.
This is literally the energy you burn doing everything that isn't formal exercise. Walking to the mailbox, doing the dishes, typing, even fidgeting in your chair. All those little movements add up to something huge.
And get this, the power of NEAT is absolutely staggering. For some people, all these little non-exercise movements can burn up to half of their total daily calories. That is a massive, untapped resource for fat loss that has absolutely nothing to do with setting foot in a gym.
And just look at this breakdown. Simply standing up instead of sitting burns more calories. Taking a walk, doing chores, cooking a meal. These are all things you're probably doing anyway. The secret is to just find little ways to do them a little bit more. Park at the back of the parking lot. Always take the stairs. Pace around when you're on a phone call. It all counts.
You know, the absolute best way to increase your NEAT is to make it fun. It's got to be something you don't even think about. These piano stairs in Stockholm, for example, got 66% more people to take the stairs instead of the escalator, just because it was enjoyable. Find those little moments of fun and movement, and you'll do it without even trying.
Okay, now for a really, really critical piece of the puzzle. You could have the perfect diet and the best training plan in the world, but if you ignore these next two things, you're just spinning your wheels. Let's talk about the invisible saboteurs, sleep and stress. You have got to look at this slide. This study is just mind-blowing. They took two groups, put them on the exact same diet. The only difference was sleep.
The group that only got 5.5 hours of sleep lost 55% less fat and a whopping 60% more muscle than the group that got a full 8.5 hours. Let that sink in. Not enough sleep basically tells your body, hey, burn that precious muscle and hang on to the fat.
And then you've got its evil twin, stress. Being chronically stressed out isn't just a bad feeling. It creates a powerful physical reaction. It jacks up a hormone called cortisol, and cortisol's main job is to tell your body to store fat, especially right around your belly. It's an old survival mechanism that's just not helping us in the modern world.
But hey, the good news is you don't need to go on some month-long retreat to fix this. Simple strategies work wonders. A few minutes of intentional breathing, a short walk outside, leave the phone behind, or even just scheduling time to do absolutely nothing can bring that cortisol down and put your body back in fat-burning mode.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We've talked about our 3 big pillars: major building your metabolic engine with strength training, maximizing all that everyday movement with NEAT, and managing sleep and stress. Now, let's build our plan on the one foundation that makes it all work.
And here it is. This is the non-negotiable part. At the end of the day, to lose fat, you have to use a little more energy than you take in. It's just physics. But all the strategies we just talked about make creating and sticking to that deficit easier, healthier, and way more effective in the long run. So what are the keys to actually making this happen? It really boils down to this. First, a small, gentle calorie deficit. No need to starve yourself. Second, make protein a priority at every meal. That's what protects your muscle. And maybe most importantly, you have to think in terms of permanent habits. This is not a crash diet, it's a lifestyle upgrade.
And look, real success comes from setting realistic goals. A healthy, sustainable rate of fat loss is about 5 to 10% of your body weight over 6 months. And please, remember, because you're building dense muscle, the scale doesn't tell the whole story. Pay way more attention to how your clothes are fitting, how you look in pictures, and how much stronger you're getting.
So let's just reframe this whole thing. It's time to stop thinking about this as punishment or restriction or endless hours of boring cardio. This is about building a smarter, stronger body. It's about weaving movement into your life and taking care of your whole system. The goal isn't just to get smaller, it's to become more powerful. Thanks for tuning in.